All right, guys, welcome back to the Arsenal podcast. Make sure you've subscribed. Make sure you have actually put a like on the video, and make sure all that we are going to discuss you're involved by putting a comment in the comment box. Happy New Year, guys! New graphics, new me. I hope you guys are also new as well. I'm sorry for the minutes late. I'm really sorry. I was just fixing up a little things here, but make no mistake, please do subscribe. We are going to be discussing all the transfer rumors around Arsenal today because there are so many. Trust me, there are so many transfer stories around Arsenal. So many. I don't know where to start, but at least Kolasinac has left. That is confirmed by Christian Folk. Dan Deal. Edu has also confirmed it's a done deal. We're going to be talking about Kolasinac and what it means for us not to have let him go. We shall be also talking about people. We shall be talking about people like Marcel Sabitzer. We shall be talking about people like Christopher Nkuku, who have been linked with us today, and what are the possibilities as well. We shall be talking about Socrates and what are the developments in his quest to leave Arsenal, because we know that at least he will be leaving, whether he wants it or not. His contract is about to be terminated. So probably two players are on a very, very sure deal that they'll be leaving the club. And of course, it's your boy Kosi. Let us make it 500 likes. It's the new target. And let us make sure that you guys are engaging. What do you think about all these stories that we're going to talk about? Marcel Sabitzer, Christopher Nkuku, Emi Buendia, by the way, which I've said that the 18-20 million we are going for is very, very small. So how much do they actually want? Because reports indicate that they would want double of the 20 million, which for me is a little bit unfair. But anyway, I'm going to discuss all that. So I'll start with Marcel Sabitzer, then I'll go with Sead Kolasinac as my next story. So today, Christian Folk was talking about Marcel Sabitzer and the situation between the player, Leipzig, and Tottenham Hotspur. Make no mistake, he was not really referring to Arsenal, but he was referring to Tottenham, Leipzig, and Sabitzer. And he said that, however, there are other clubs that are interested in this man, and among those is Arsenal. So Arsenal, it is confirmed that we have interest in Marcel Sabitzer. He's not joining. I didn't say he's joining, but Christian Fox says yes. There is confirmed interest that actually Arsenal will be going for Marcel Sabitzer in January transfer window. Now, look, I read Sabitzer. I love Sabitzer. I think he's a wonderful player. I think he is one of those players that could actually overturn whatever is happening at Arsenal. He is valued at £45 million. That is the first, that's the first thing we have to look at. £45 million. He has 1 year left on his contract. Okay, in the summer, he will have 1 year left on his contract. And for me, I think by the fact that Leipzig signed Dominic Szoboszlai, it really means for me that probably they are preparing for his exit. They know that they're going to lose their skipper, probably in January or in the summer. It is a deal that can be done in January transfer window, because, look, they're looking at a time where they need to maximize whatever they can get out of Sabitzer. Yeah, in the summer he will be left with 1 year. It is easy for a club like Tottenham Hotspur or Chelsea or wherever club to come in there and tell him stay for 1 season. We are going to come for you. Then we sign you as a free agent. And of course, I don't think Leipzig would want to let him go and sign for another club as a free agent. Trust me, he's one of their best talents. He's one of their leading talents. I just get time to ask myself, why is it that Sabitzer is running out of contract at Leipzig? I mean, it doesn't make sense. They have sold Timo Werner in the last summer. They have renewed the contract of Dayot Upamecano. How come one of their best talents this season and all over, one of their best players in lifetime, Sabitzer, how come they have not tied him down to a longer contract? It really brings a lot of questions, but that doesn't bring in questions on his quality. It doesn't bring in questions on the quality of the player. He is a quality player. Make no mistake, he is one of those best players we have ever seen. Yeah, we have ever seen in German Bundesliga, one of those players we have seen at RB Leipzig. He is a wonder player. He's a wonder talent. But the question is, why do they let him go at this point in time? Yeah, why don't they tie him to a new contract? But I think this is in an advantage to Arsenal, and probably I'll be talking about the free agents and players that are running out of contract at their different clubs that Arsenal could sign. There are very interesting names there. Gigi Donnarumma. I was shocked. I don't really follow Italian football, but I love AC Milan. But I'm asking myself, why the hell is Gigi Donnarumma running out of contract? He's gonna be a free agent in the summer. Yeah, players like Memphis Depay. Okay, for Memphis Depay, that is a little bit understandable. I would understand. Probably Lyon, wanted to sell him, and the player wants to leave, and so on. So he won't sign another contract. But I just ask myself, players like Gigi Wijnaldum, he's been giving a lot of Liverpool. He's a free agent. Players like Angel Di Maria and a couple of others. So I don't think Leipzig want to take a risk in the summer, because he has 1 year left on his contract in the summer. So probably any club that comes in is going to come with around 25 million, 20 million, and you have to sell, because if you do not sell and you postpone until the January transfer window of 2022, you're gonna get much more less. Yeah, and of course, in January 2022, the player would not won't want to make a move. He will stay at Leipzig, play some few games until the end of the season, offer some guidance to Dominic Szoboszlai, then wait until the summer of 2022 and live on a free, get a big sign-on fee. Will be in a very good position to agree big, wages, probably at Tottenham, probably at Arsenal, probably at Juventus, and a couple of other clubs. So it is, it is baffling for me why, Leipzig have waited so long to reach an extent where they cannot get 40 million out of their skipper. Because I don't think Arsenal is going to give you 40 million, or any other club, unless they're stupid, they're not going to give you 40 million for a player whose contract is running down. It's either going to be around 35 in this January, 30 million. And I think I just want to say this: if Leipzig get a club who can give them 30 million, 35 million, they should do that deal. Trust me, they should do that deal. In the summer, it's going to be a lot more less. In January, it's going to be a lot more less, than they expect. They have signed in a replacement in Dominic Szoboszlai. One player that I really loved to join Arsenal was Dominic Szoboszlai. I really loved that man. I thought he would, we would get out of our comfort zone and sign Dominic Szoboszlai. He is a baller, yeah. He's a real baller. But we missed on Dominic Szoboszlai. 25 million pounds was his release clause. Can we take the advantage and negotiate our way through to get Marcel Sabitzer? Yeah, because for me, it is a deal that is doable. Trust me, it's a doable deal. If Arsenal can close their eyes, get their might, go in there, tell RB Leipzig that, look, I'm giving you 30 million. This guy's contract is running down. Yeah, he is that kind of player that we actually need. If Arsenal is anywhere serious in this January transfer window, like Mikel Arteta says, we are not going to sign in, so many players. So it's all about the quality then. Yeah, because we're not going to bring in 3 players, 4 players. No, probably 1 or 2. So it goes back to the quality. Yeah, if you are bringing in 1 player like this, yeah, that means you're putting all your eggs in one basket. The question is, how good are they? And for me, I think Sabitzer, unless he flops, Sabitzer is a wonder player. One player that can add lots and lots and lots to Arsenal if we get out of our comfort zone and actually go for his signature. Tell me, make no mistake, your comments are very, very much needed. What do you think about Marcel Sabitzer? Is he the kind of player that would drown Arsenal out of the stinking pit we have dug ourselves into? I mean, we are fighting relegation and we are celebrating over a 1-0 win against Brighton, like we beat Barcelona after Brighton played like prime Barcelona against us in the first half. So what do you think about Marcel Sabitzer? What do you think about Marcel Sabitzer? Because I think we go for him. It's a good deal. What do you think? Make no mistake, another same German reporter, Christian Falk, it has been reported that actually Arsenal would also consider going for the signature of a one transfer crazy man, Christopher Nkuku, again from RB Leipzig. Now, if you asked me, Nkuku and Sabitzer, who do you rate more? My answer is quite clear. I rate more. I rate Sabitzer more. I love Sabitzer. I love his playing time style. I love his confidence on the ball. I love whatever he does, on that ball. He is an absolute bowler. Yeah, you get me? He is an absolute bowler, a player that I think has the qualities to fit at any team in the Premier League. I think he would be very good to fit in Liverpool. He would be very good to fit at United. He would be very good to fit at Arsenal, at City. I think Sabitzer fits, in every Premier League team, unless I'm mistaken. Make no mistake. If you think I am mistaken, go down in the comments and please do remind me that, Kosi, this is not right. But Christopher Nkuku is another player that is having an amazing campaign at RB Leipzig, also having an amazing career at RB Leipzig. Yeah, Nkuku, very, very talented. Arsenal, again, reported as one of those clubs that actually do want to get his signature probably in January, and I don't see this happen. Yeah, he's not. Apart from unlike Sabitzer, I think they can listen to Sabitzer. Yeah, they can listen for offers for Sabitzer, and Tottenham are planning to go there in the January transfer window as well as Arsenal. But Christopher Nkuku, I don't see them lose Christopher Nkuku. I don't see them, let Christopher Nkuku go. But he would be another big addition for Arsenal, in that midfield. Another big addition for Arsenal in that midfield. I think if Arsenal go for Nkuku, you partner him with Thomas Partey, you have perfect midfield. Yeah, I know you're gonna tell me, because it should be Bissouma. Yeah, I understand. But of course, there's so many clubs interested in Bissouma. But I think Nkuku is very, very talented. Very talented. He's 23 years of age. His market value is around £33 million. That is according to a transfer blog known as transfermarket.com. Market value 33 million. That is as per 2020 July 8th, which I think has a little bit increased to around 40 million. Okay, we should say 40 million. An attacking midfielder, make no mistake, very, very young, French international. This season, he has 2 goals, 2 assists from 10 appearances. I think, he's a little bit, of a good player. Yeah, he's a little bit of a good player. If of course I cannot compare him to Emi Buendia, because Buendia has very exciting statistics, but how tested Nkuku is, been in the Champions League, the Bundesliga, played a couple of games, and I think he has proven himself as one of those players that are actually very, very good. His contract rather expires in 2024. We are in 2021. And of course, I've already pronounced myself as in 2021. So we are in 2021. His contract runs down in 2024. That means it's a little bit more expensive, and you will need to actually negotiate your way harder than you would for Sabitzer, because I told you Sabitzer is actually is actually 1 year away from the expiry date of his contract. So Nkuku, very talented. French international, Arsenal interested, but his market value is 35 million as per July 2020. That means as per January 2021, we are looking at around 45 or 50 million. And I'm telling you, to be quite precise, Leipzig won't be interested in selling him. Probably the player we have to go when it comes to that German link should be Sabitzer. Make no mistake, Kolasinac has left the club, and Edu has had a kind of should I say, kind words for him. I don't know whether you guys still have kind words for Sead Kolasinac. I don't want to pronounce him as a Bismo. Yeah, I don't want to pronounce him as an absolute Bismo, as a failure to Arsenal and so on. I don't think he's been an absolute Bismo, but he's one of those players that have actually let us down. When he signed for us in 2018 from FC Schalke, where he has rejoined on loan for 6 months. taken a pay cut of almost 50%. When he joined us from Schalke 04, most of us thought, I think, most of us thought he is the kind of player that Arsenal needed at the time. Was one of the best, left backs in German football. 25 years of age. That means that is the age where a player gets to play some good football. I think he was all over the place. That's what I should say. He was all over the place. But as time, went on, he became an absolute disgrace to this football club. I mean, everybody wanted him out. Everybody wanted, Sead Kolasinac out. He became. I don't know what happened to Sead Kolasinac. Look, even when he had just joined Arsenal, he wasn't one of the best. Yeah, but he could at least run along that, left line. That's what I remember. But after some time, he became an absolute disgrace. So he has left the club to go for Schalke 04 on a loan deal for 6 months. Probably he will save them from relegation because they're in a relegation battle. He also leaves us in a relegation battle, by the way. The only difference is that for us, we are a little bit more optimistic than Schalke 04 that we shall actually not get relegated. I mean, we are a little bit more optimistic that we shall not get relegated. So what do you think about, Kolasinac? For me, I think this deal means one thing, that Arsenal can actually start doing business of incoming transfer signings. Remember, we said no players getting out, no players coming in. Now, as Sead Kolasinac leaves, as Socrates is very close to leaving the club, as Mesut Ozil is thinking about whether he leaves or stays, as William Saliba is also in preparation to go out for a loan deal. Probably we shall have players like Balogun leaving, very soon. We could have around 4 or 5 players leaving the January transfer window, and that means we can bring in 2 or 1 player in an attacking position. Like Edu said, we need that creativity, and everybody sees this season our problem is the creativity, but we cannot bring in a creative player before we let other players go. So Sead Kolasinac leaves. That is almost 100K per week lessened on the on the budget, and it's an absolute perfection. If Isco is coming on for 6 months, and then Sead Kolasinac has left for 6 months, I just pray that he finds himself. He makes himself relevant to Schalke 04, that they get some appetite to sign him up. And I also pray that Schalke 04 give him the best environment so that he can actually be attracted to stay there. After this season, he will have 1 year left on his contract. No, it will depend whether he decides to spend that year at Arsenal sitting on the bench waiting for Kian Tierney and wishing that Kian Tierney can actually get injured, or he decides to leave the club and find himself, a perfect job elsewhere, because I think his value and job and importance at Arsenal is literally finished. Make no mistake, I do not want to go against him. I think he has been loyal to Arsenal. His performance and quality has rather let him down. He's not a bad player. Just like Mohamed Elneny, when they leave this club, I don't think they have been troublesome players. Their attitude is okay. They have tried to give their best to this football club, but their quality and their talent have rather let them down. They're just not good enough. Make no mistake, I do not try to insult them. Okay, so those are the 3 players. Those are the 3. Basic stories that I just wanted to discuss, but there are more. There are more stories like Ricky Puig, Barcelona midfielder, Barcelona Wandaki, 21 years of age. I love this guy. I believe he could be the next big thing if only Arsenal decided that we can actually go for him. We have not really decided that we are going to go for him. We have only showed interest in signing him, and Barcelona are saying, however much he's going to be a free agent in the summer, they're not going to tolerate that. They're not going to wait for that. They will actually decide to tie him to a longer contract that will actually see him stay at Barcelona for the next 5 years. Now, the situation with Ricky Puig is, he had a fallout with the manager. And of course, you know that we have seen a couple of things happen like this. You have a fallout with the manager. It's either the manager that leaves or you leave. So Ricky Puig at 21 years of age, you're falling out with the manager. What does it tell us? Discipline. Yeah. discipline. We have had similar issues with players like Matteo Guendouzi. So we need to be a little bit more cautious as we think about letting in players like Ricky Pig in the side. But I don't mean he shouldn't come. I love the player. I really rate him a lot. He's a wonderful, wonderful, nice kid. If you see how he plays, you don't wish to see Emile Smith-Rowe on the pitch. Make no mistake, I'm the biggest fan of Emile Smith-Rowe, and you know that. But Ricky Pig is an elevated, slightly or highly elevated version of Emile Smith-Rowe. The speed, the tactics, the brain, how precise he is, I think the confidence on the ball. I think Emile Smith-Rowe, if you partner Emile Smith-Rowe with Ricky Puig, you have a complete midfield. The only problem is that if it comes to Arsenal, then Emile Smith-Rowe position is in quite under a threat, because they almost play in the same position. What I noticed about Ricky is he can play as a support midfielder to Thomas Partey, because he has that ability to dribble the ball forward, pass it around, but he is also more concerned with creating chances behind the strikers. That's where he wants to play, and that's where he's currently playing at Barcelona. I don't think he's going to get a lot of playing time at Barcelona. So if Barcelona really think about letting him go for 6 months, especially at a time where they think he has fallen out the manager, so they could actually do with a hand. Probably Arsenal can actually go for him. I don't think he's getting big wages. It should be a nice deal, but he's immature and he doesn't have a lot of the experience. So if we bring him in, we are barely, basing on his talent. And how many Arsenal fans would want to see an amateur come at the side right now? There are not so many, but for me, I rate him a lot. And why I would want to see him at Arsenal is you bring him on a 6-month loan, and try to persuade, or you either persuade Barcelona or dissuade them from the thought that they actually want, they need to take him back. So probably Ricky Pig is another player we should be considering. I mean, one, two, slowly by slowly. The January transfer window has just started. More transfer news to come, more transfer headlines to come. So Ricky Pig is under consideration as well. Now, we also have bad news, and this is a blow from Norwich, which is not so much of good news, but I will try to make it a little bit considerate. Norwich are saying Arsenal is okay. It is okay to consider Emi Buendia as one of our potential transfer targets. It is okay. However, the problem is that Buendia is not 20 million. They almost want 35 to 40 million, twice as much as we value him at. This is crazy. This is crazy. I remember when I first did this story that we shall have to pay almost 40 or 45 million. Many people told me, because that is a little bit high. Yeah, it's a little bit high. Buendia right now, the reason as to why Norwich will actually want us to pay all the money they want is because the player has established himself both in the EPL and the Championship. Make no mistake, we had a chance to sign him before they started the season. We never went in for him. We were just, lousing around, busting around, and now things have caught up with us. That's the problem with Arsenal. We want to go for deals on the last minute when things have become hard. Look, we had a chance to sign Housemoa last season, and this season, I can make you very, very, very assured that the Housemoa deal is totally off. Totally off. But the question is, why is that deal off? I mean, that's a simple question. Why is the Housemoa deal off? It's because we failed to go for the player at the right time. And make no mistake, be it any player we want, Emi Buendia or anyone, if we do not go in for them at the right moment, we shall never sign them. Never shall we sign them. So guys, do me a favor, smash the like button. Let us make sure we get at least 50 likes. Our target is 500 likes for the video, but as we are live, let us try to make sure we get at least 50 likes. Then we can bring in the phone calls. We talk about these issues with you guys on the phone. The like button is on your screen. You can see, just check it down below. It is there. And the subscription button is also below on your screen. Make sure you're hitting them. So I'm looking at this scenario where we have to go for Emi Buendia. And he's one of those talents that we are actually very sure he could do well at Arsenal. Yeah. Proven Premier League, proven. I mean, he's proven. Yeah. He's really, really proven. But I'm asking myself, just in case, if we do not get Emi Buendia, where do we turn to? Yeah. Where do we turn to? For me, he looks like that perfect kind of January transfer signing. Do I make myself clear? Do I make sense? That kind of perfect January transfer signing. In January this year, I reported about Manchester United, and I said that Bruno Fernandes was that perfect that Manchester United had no room to miss him out. He was that perfect that United, no matter what, they had to sign him, and eventually they signed him up. Yeah. And I think Emi Buendia is that perfect kind of guy that Arsenal shouldn't be thinking twice to sign him up. We shouldn't be thinking twice. I'm telling you, if we are going for Buendia, we shouldn't be thinking twice. It should be one thought: get Buendia in, get Buendia in, get Buendia in. But now Norwich know that we are kind of desperate. And I told you this way back a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I told you that Arsenal now have become so desperate that any club that wants to do business with us is not coming in a good spirit. They want to exploit us because we are desperate. They know that we are desperate, so they would want to exploit us. And now Norwich are taking advantage of the fact that we need a creative midfielder, and we are shit at making chances. They have the tools that makes chances, but they're saying, okay, probably you can, pay us 45 million, 40 million. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And trust me, make no mistake, I don't think Arsenal will actually fancy going for him. So guys, please do make me a favor, smash the like button. Please do make me a favor, smash the like button. Exactly. I believe you have just done that. Subscribe, share, and smash the like button. Thanks everybody who has done that. Thanks everybody who has done that. Really means a lot to me. Yeah. It really, really means a lot to me as a podcaster. I don't know what I mean, am I a podcaster? Am I a YouTuber? But on YouTube, it really means a lot. So, been talking about Emi Buendia, and I think he's the perfect guy for the job. Perfect. And you guys are going to have time to call in and react to these stories. Yeah. But is Emi Buendia 45 million pounds worth? Should we pay 45? What do you think? And I think this is the first question you guys are going to answer. Should we pay 45 million quits for Emi Buendia? Is he worth that amount? Yeah. Many people will say because he's worth it, because we are desperate. But if we were not desperate, if we were not that desperate, is he worth that amount? Yeah. Should we actually be going for a player who is around 30 million, and then we have to pay 40 million? Are we that desperate? Yeah, I believe we are that desperate, but I don't believe we should actually pay all that money. I mean, it's my opinion. It's my opinion. Now, again, we are linked to another defender from Roma, and we shall be battling it with Liverpool to a Roma defender in the names of Ibanez. 30 million rated defender, 24 years of age, playing with Roma. He has actually found himself as one of those players that have, should I say, conquered and consecrated, cemented their places at Roma. Wonderful defender. If you if you watch his clips, but should we be signing players from YouTube? It's a big question. But anyway, look, guys, this is no offense. Yeah. This is no offense. I think Arsenal, in any way, Arsenal can actually go and sign up any player, whether it is, Ibanez or it is Upamecano or wherever. But are we in a crisis for a defender right now? January, we should be not linked to people who are not so much of relevant. I think in the January transfer window, our focus should be a creative player. And I think Mikel Arteta knows this, and the board know this, So a creative player. Probably we can think about a partner for Thomas Partey, a box to box. Yeah, I mean, both of them having two defensive midfielders that can be box to box midfielders is quite interesting, isn't it? Yeah, but Ibanez is a target for the summer, and I don't. That's why I don't think I'll discuss him. So much. He's a target for the summer because in the summer, Luiz is leaving. Socrates may be leaving in January. Scotland Mustafa is leaving in the summer. So we are losing almost three. We are losing almost three centre backs. So then you can think about a centre back, basing on the fact that Murray and Gabriel Magalhaes are both left-footed. So I don't know whether they can play together. I mean, in my opinion, they can, and it's a little bit more risky, to think about that. But, if we think about, a defender in January, it would be quite disappointing. If we let Pablo Mari go, and then we start stocking defenders, not Pablo Mari, William Saliba. If we let Saliba go, and then we start stocking around defenders, it might not make much sense for me. Yeah, it might not make such much sense. You have a highly rated defender in William Saliba. You let him go, and then you go out there and you start stocking defenders of other clubs. It would be not stupid, but utterly stupid. So I think January, it's not a time when we should be thinking about, defenders, signing defenders and so on. I don't think. So, I mean, it's a good thing that we can think about a defender because at some point in time, not very far from, what you think, we shall need a defender. But for now, no. I don't think we need a defender for now. So, I mean, those are the quick stories I can, pinpoint as we end the year. Please make no mistake. You can get me one of those big super chats as we end the year. It will be much, much appreciated. But it's time for you guys to call in, and I want to take your comments as well. What do you think about the January transfer window and Marcel Sabitzer? Make no mistake, I want your views and opinions about Sabitzer. Make no mistake, I want your views about Christoph Nkunku. I want your views about all these players that have been linked with Arsenal today, and all the January transfer window coming up very, very shortly. So as I plan to take your calls, the link has been shared in the comment section. Link has been shared in the comment section. Make no mistake, please do call in. I'm going to take one caller per time, just like we do on this show. Always. Bissouma will be a good partner for Thomas Partey, for sure. Look, again, this is a deal. I want to bring to your notice that we might not be able to do the Bissouma deal in January. Yeah, it's a good deal. I do understand. It's a very good deal, but we might not be able to do it, in January. He has a long contract with Brighton. That's first and foremost. But even without the long contract, you think Brighton still have hopes of surviving relegation? And if you ask me, do they, think they can survive relegation when they have their best players around? Yes, I do. Because if they have Solimatch, they have Lamptey, they have Bissouma, they have Neil Maupay. They have a couple of good players in there, so Brighton can survive relegation. But the only way they can survive relegation, if they stay, make no mistake, they have to stay with their best players on board. You get me? They have to stay with the best players. So Bissouma is a hard deal. It's a hard deal to do, but he would be one of the best players I think Arsenal will ever get in that midfield. If we get Thomas Partey partner with Bissouma, we have the best midfield partnership. And I mean, I don't want to be deluded, and I don't want to sound delusional because nobody wants to. But we get him, in. He's going to be one of the best. Yeah, one of the best partnerships in there. So make no mistake, I would want to hear him, sign for Arsenal, but probably not in January. The first caller in is Dinero. How are you doing, Dinero?
I'm good, my bro. How are you?
I'm very, very good.
What are you telling me, man?
Yeah, I'm just here, reacting to these, transfer rumors. There's so many, so many. But let's start with Sabitzer. Sabitzer has a contract running down at Leipzig, almost 6 months. He has 6 months, then a year. I think 1 year and 6 months. In the summer, he'll have 1 year. So I don't think Leipzig would want to let him go on a free, so they would want to cash in on him. But
Facts.
I'm asking myself, why did they even let him go, or this far without a contract? Because he's one of their best players. It really baffles me. But do you see him as a perfect player who could actually fit in Mikel Arteta's system?
Do you know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that much of him.
Yeah.
But he seems like a midfielder that will get you the goal threat. Like in that midfield, we have players who are not as a goal threat, so defenders are not really scared when they come against us. So we don't have a Ramsey-like midfielder. He seems to me like a midfielder that will cause teams problems. Like he's good with set pieces. He's also as when he comes into the final third, they'll either back off and then we can give it to other players. But yeah, I think he will be a good signing. But I would say if we sign him, we'll need another midfielder that can hold the ball and that's more creative.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's more of an attack-minded midfielder. That kind of player that's always going to give you that move going forward. Yeah. That he's that kind of player. But
definitely,
I mean, I think for me, why I would fancy a deal, his deal, is by the fact that if his contract is running down, then probably we can get him at around 30 million, and that would be so much quality for 30 million, or even less.
Yeah, I mean the guy he's only 26 as well.
Yeah.
So he's at that prime age.
Yeah.
Especially if we get him free, that will be it'll kind of be a smart deal. I think he seems to me like a versatile player. I think he can play center. He can play. So
yeah, he is.
I mean, it'll be a no-brainer. Kind of like he's like a Maitland Niles that's upgraded. He can play different plays, but also he's got a shot on him.
Yeah. So I mean, anyway. So what do you think about Kolasinac? He has signed for Schalke 04. What are your comments on that?
They've got the best left back ever. I mean, it's what, I'm really sad to this day, man. But you know what, yeah, I think you know what, he's not a bad left back. Well, for us he was, yeah, but in terms of like, he's one of those left backs that's not really good on the ball, but like, he's not really good with crosses, but he'll be good for another team. Like a low, like I would say, like like a I don't know, not a Brighton.
Yeah.
One of those.
And I think the situation in which Schalke are being relegation threatened, and I think they have a quality. I mean, he's a quality addition to their squad right now.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when he was playing for them before, he was Bundesliga's best left back, I think, or a couple of times or something like that.
Yeah,
so
2018.
I think the Premier League, it just demands so much for you because like the Premier League is more, I mean, the tempo is higher, pressure is much higher, you demand a lot. Like you need to do 10 things at once. I mean, to handle the Premier League, to be a good player. So I think he'll do good there. I think he'll be all right there.
Okay. Then lastly, you think what do you think about Emi Buendia's 40 million price tag? Norwich saying Arsenal have 20, but we want double that price. What do you think? Emi Buendia 40 million, is he worth it? Do you think he's worth it?
Bro, like I think Arsenal, yeah. The thing with Arsenal, I have a feeling, yeah, that I remember when we had a chance to sign Van Dijk for 75 million. A lot of people were saying, "Yo, is he worth it?" He's Southampton. He's not that, And then next minute he gets signed up by Liverpool, and then he's totally changed that team. Yeah, he's world class.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if Arsenal got the cojones, they need to go they need to spend that, man. He's been in the Premier League. He's proven. And
Mm.
what we need is we need someone who's an outlet. Like, you know how Cazorla was. You know,
Yeah,
someone
exactly.
who can get the ball from deep and drive us forward. We don't quite have that. Maybe in Martinelli, but he's not that guy who would drive through the middle.
Yeah.
So 100%, 45 million is a no-brainer because if he goes to another team, yeah, that price is gonna rise. You know, his
Mm.
price is gonna go up 100%. I won't be surprised if it goes 80 million, boy. How old is he as well?
Buendia is 25.
25, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Perfect age. Perfect age.
perfect, bro.
Yeah.
Perfect. We need to sign him up ASAP. We need to sign him up ASAP. I think he's my top one. He's my top signing. I'll say top target.
Top
100%.
target. Okay. Thank you so much, Dinero. I would love to hear from Binu as well. Please make no mistake. The link I shared is for you guys to call in. So make sure you call in and get in your opinions. Binu, how are you doing, my brother? And
Fine, coach. How are you doing? Happy New Year.
how is your day? Happy New Year to you too.
Yeah, fine, man. Fine.
Start with Sabitzer and Nkuku. How do you rate these two players? And you think Arsenal should go for any of them? Nkuku is Leipzig, Sabitzer is Leipzig.
Yeah, like for Nkunku, I'm not sure like Leipzig will sell him because like he is younger and he's 23 years of old, and like if they want to sell him and his contract is maybe long, even I think his contract maybe even more 5 years. So like they might sell him only for like 50 to 60 million at least. So like the best chance we can get is like Sabitzer, because Sabitzer we can get for like at least 30 or 35 million. I think it's a no-brainer and we can get that deal done first of all. And he's a versatile player. He can play as a box to box, and like he works hard, and like he has a technical ability. Then he's good in set pieces. So like I think that's a good business in my opinion. And if you buy like Sabitzer and Buendia, you can play. And Buendia played most of the games on right side, because in right side, as we know, like Pepe is not working that hard, and William we know like is not useful for us. So like, and we can't keep on playing Saka every game, because if he gets injured, then we can't like have that quality in that right-handed side. So like yeah, and we so I think it's better like if we buy Sabitzer and Buendia and play Buendia on the right and Sabitzer on the attacking mid. But what I want to say is like we need a holding midfielder next to Partey, and I don't think Bissouma will come in this January, because like Brighton wants to survive. So like only they will sell only in summer. And like, and another option, like if we really want a holding midfielder next to Partey this January, I would recommend Dennis Zakaria from Borussia Mönchengladbach. I think he's a
He's a
good
ball,
midfielder.
he's a bowler. He's a real
Yeah,
bowler.
Dennis
Yeah.
Zakaria. But the thing is, like, I'm telling is like, if you are interested in that guy, and if you buy him, I don't want to become in another Shaka situation, because they bought the same defensive midfielder from them, and you look at how it turned out to be. Like Shaka from Borussia Mönchengladbach, we bought for 40 million, and like we know like how it happened now. So like that's the only thing is worrying for me, because if you buy these players in Bundesliga, I'm having worry, because like this Premier League is more of tense, more of physical, more of space. So like at least we need we need to buy players who have at least pace and physicality. So like
Exactly.
you can see like we can see like how Havertz is struggling at Chelsea, because he doesn't have that physicality. Even he doesn't have
Agree.
that much pace. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like we need at least one of that attributes for us. Like if you're buying, I think Sabitzer, I think he's physically is enough, and he's like in good in set pieces. So like yeah, I think it's like a decent. I would take Sabitzer all day long. But for Nkunku, I'm not sure like we will get him, because like they tied him into a longer contract, and they will only sell for, at least they have to sell for 50 million. So they won't risk for them. And the Sabitzer, why he wants to join for us or like in Spurs, like because it's because of wages, because they
Mm.
had a dispute between the wages. Like they need, he needs more than 150k, week. So like we can easily offer 200k because like we offer Partey for 260k, including bonuses. So like
Yes.
we can offer Sabitzer for 200k. So I think the wage is the only reason I think we are getting that player. I don't think of anything else like how can we get because
And the question is, do you think Arsenal will give Sabitzer 200k? Do you think will do such a deal unless
yeah,
it is a free
definitely, because like
transfer?
last year, like they gave 140 for Pepe. If they're giving 140 for Pepe and now 260 for Partey, so like they all left this Champions League football and came to us. Pepe was in last year's Champions League in Lille. Lille qualified for the Champions League, and like he left there and he came for us. So like we had to offer like little more big wages for Pepe to get us. So so this is the exact same thing. It's happening. I'm sure about that. If you're buying Sabitzer, I think the fees would be just like 35 million or 40 million at maximum, and like the wages will be the priority. The wages will be like 200k. I'm sure about that.
Okay.
And like
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, continue.
I was going to ask you about the possibility of us going for a defender in January, yet we are letting one of our best defenders leave.
I'm not sure like we are getting a defender in January. I don't think defender is the right priority right now. I think even the club knows that because they have enough defenders from.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
like they will only go for defenders in summer, I think. And like I actually personally don't think Upamecano is that. Yeah, Upamecano is good, but I think he's bit overrated because like when you see some of his Bundesliga matches, even in Champions League performance, when I saw him, he makes lot of error, like lot of mistakes he makes. From like so, I would get from Leipzig one player, one defender is there. His name is Konate. His release cost is 40 million. I think he's a fantastic bowler. He's criminally underrated in my opinion because he is the partner next to Upamecano, and Upamecano is getting more credits, but no one is giving the appreciation on Konate. And Konate is a very good right back in my opinion. If you get him, I think it's fantastic for and he's a right-footed center back. So I think that's good. And like the next summer, like we need a right back and a center back and probably a striker if Lacazette or anyone leaves. So like, but the thing is like we can't wait for more. So we have to do now for January what are requirements. So we need at least two attacking midfielder. Okay, one can play in any of the wing, and one a proper number 10. And if we can get a chance of buying a holding midfielder, like then okay, I'm okay with that. But if you're not getting the player which we want as a holding midfielder next to Partey, then no need to buy him right now because it will be a waste of money.
All right, bro. Let's listen from Razak as well. Razak, how are you doing?
Good evening.
Good evening. What is it you want to react to this evening?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Please go ahead. You called in. What is it what you want to say?
I would say I would like to talk about Zabosla and Nkuku. For me, I'll prefer we go for Zabosla because he's a kind of a creative player we actually need right now.
The problem is actually the problem is Szoboszlai just signed for RB Leipzig. He has not actually been there for for a month. It's barely a month. So we cannot do that deal. It is over. It's over. He signed for RB Leipzig until 2025.
Okay.
Exactly.
So let me talk about Emi Buendia. Buendia is a player which we can actually get, but I can't see Arsenal going for 40 million for Emi Buendia. I don't see Arsenal going for that deal because Arsenal is a team which, when it comes to transfer window, we're always slow about it. Look at the team like Liverpool. Liverpool went for Diego Jota. In less than 2 to 3 days, they signed him. But Arsenal was about to sign Asim Hawa from Lyon. We talk about this deal till the end of the transfer window, we couldn't get him. But Emi Buendia is a player who have played for Premier League for quite some time, and I love his playing. He's a creative player. He's a baller. I love his ball, but I can't see Arsenal going for 40 million of Emi Buendia. Arsenal cannot do that deal. I don't see Arsenal doing that deal.
If we don't
Nkunku,
get if we don't get
Sorry?
Buendia, if we don't get Emi Buendia, would you settle for Isco?
Yes, I'll prefer Isco. Instead of for me, instead of Arsenal signing Emi Buendia for 40 million, I would rather go for Isco.
Oh, okay.
I would rather go for Isco. I'm talking about.
Okay, thank you so much, my brother there, Razak. You know, I have to take in a couple, of course. So please, you'll bear with me. Marcel, how are you doing?
Hello, can you hear me?
Very well.
Oh, great, fantastic. Thank you very much for having me on.
It's okay. First and foremost, before you say whatever you want to say, I want your reaction on Kolasinac. He has left for Schalke. Or for, is it a deal that we are going to benefit from? You know, March. What did you make of it?
First of all, I would just say thank God for that. That is gone. You know, the next person I'm going to be very happy if that person leaves the club. Bellerin. I will be so happy. Sure.
Exactly.
Because right now, at the moment, like I always said, Arsenal has got the worst right back in the league right now.
Exactly.
But a lot of people are saying that, oh yeah, we need this attacking midfielder. You're not actually talking about, we don't have a fullback, a right fullback that can defend.
Yeah.
Since I'll quickly touch on this. Since we sold Ashley Cole to Chelsea, we have never had a very good left back until Henry came and went to go and get Curentini.
Yeah,
then
exactly.
We are steady on the left back.
Actually, if you asked me, how have we had decent right backs and left backs at Arsenal? My answer is I'm pretty non-clear. I'm not sure. You know, like you said, after Ashley Cole, then the Klitsches, the Kieran Gibbs, they were just trash.
They're not there.
Exactly, and even in the right back, probably Bukayo Saka. You know, Bakali Sanya was, you know, a long-serving, loyal player, but he was not that quality. I don't think it was that, you know, quality right back.
No. Since Lauren, we have never had a very steady right back. So that is one of the main areas that we need to look at. So that is why you will see a lot of Arsenal fans, they just keep shouting, Arsenal, just go and get Tariq Lamptey from Brighton, and that area is sorted.
Or even Max Aarons. I think he's a decent.
That's right. Yeah. So that is a long-term right back for us. That will be sorted.
Yeah.
Regarding the midfield, the creativity that everybody has just said, you've got to sign this, sign that, bring it to Arsenal. You need someone that is going to support party. Well, what the question I want to, a lot of people are saying that we need like 2-3 players. When was the last time Arsenal signed 2 players in January? Have you ever heard Arsenal sign 2 players in January before?
We brought in Toulon. We brought in Toulon deals in January 2020. It was Cedric and Pablo Mari, both on loan, and both were
that is loan. I mean, permanent signing in January. 2 players.
To make matters worse, both of them were injured.
But that's right. So what I'm trying to say here is I see signing just only one player in this January transfer window. And the only player that I think they're going to sign, if Arsenal go ahead and sign 2 players in this January, I'll be a little bit surprised. And I think they will have number of creativity player that they will say, oh, Arsenal linked to the Arsenal link, and they will go for the cheapest option.
Exactly.
Which is going to come back and backfire again.
And today, Mikel Arteta has said it. I'll try to break it down in my match reaction. But he has said it that, not match reaction, but preview. But he has said it that we are actually looking at players getting out more than, you know, those players that are coming in. So I was like,
that is the thing. I think he kind of realized that, whoa, I actually have all these tools in front of me right now. How long does he it took him a very long time to realize that, oh, what I'm actually missing is just right in front of me, which is Emil Smith's role, before you can actually blend him into the team. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, he still need to go out to go and get a creative midfielder, but I don't see Arsenal. Arsenal fan just needs to be. They will really need to be very. We need to be realistic here. Arsenal will not. I can guarantee you this January transfer window, Arsenal will not sign 2 players. They'll probably bring in 1 creative midfielder. It might be this Norwich guy that you guys are talking about. It might be
Emi Buendia.
Sabitzer, Emi Buendia. It might be Sabitzer. It might be someone else. They might probably go for Basuma or whatever. But I can guarantee you that if Arsenal go out and sign 2 players, I'll be surprised. But one person will do it.
Yeah, it looks like if anyone is very close, or okay, not very close, but if anyone is to join Arsenal at this moment, it's going to be Isco on a 6-month loan deal. Do you think it's a good deal, to go for him on a 6-month loan deal, or should we have signed him on a permanent?
That would probably be another surprise. Have you seen Isco lately? Have you seen how big he is? That guy put on a lot of weight. He's gonna come to Arsenal. He only got 6 months. If we bring him in on loan, he only got 6 months to help us out. 3 months out of that 6 months will be training to get himself in shape for him to be able to keep up with the pace in the Premier League. Then people will be asking again, oh, we have Isco on loan. We haven't seen him. Not knowing that he's trying to get himself in shape for him to be able to get up to speed. Now they'll be saying that that's another bad deal that we made. Arsenal just need to go in. They have Basuma. What's his name again?
Buendia.
But they have Buendia in Norwich. He's playing week in, week out. The guy's fit. He doesn't need to come into Arsenal and still trying to get himself fit. He has played in the Premier League. He knows what it is on the Premier League is like. Everybody was saying that. I've heard a lot of Arsenal fans saying that, oh, because Norwich get relegated, he can't help them to stay up, whatever. A lot of teams go on in the Premier League go and buy a player from the relegation. Look at Newcastle. They went to go and buy a striker from Bournemouth. Look at Everton. They went to go and get Norwich left back. Look at Liverpool. Their left back right now that is bringing in assists week in, week out. He get relegated with Hull City. And look at him now. So if you go bring in Basuma, this guy is good. I watched him a lot last season before they get relegated. This guy is, every time he doesn't start a game for Norwich, he struggles to create chances. Immediately they bring him onto the pitch, Norwich started creating chances to score a goal. They just become threat to the opponent. But people think, oh yeah, they get relegated. It's not going to do anything. But this is and again, he's coming to Arsenal. He's going to have a better player around him anyway. So I think, well, it will be a good signing. Talking about his price, 45 million. Well, if it is something that is going to be a long time for Arsenal, which they're not looking to bring another one in January, yeah, why not? So you see this. Arsenal is a club that they don't like to gamble.
Yeah.
Just gamble it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Then you go again. So why do you think all this stuff? Why do you think? Do you know the number of time Liverpool gamble before they become the team they are right now? Do you know the number of time Man City gamble before? Man City, they gamble a lot.
Liverpool signed Andy Carroll for 35 million.
That's right.
They signed Ben. They also. I also remember they signed Benteke.
Yeah, forget about Andy Carroll. Look at the goalkeeper that chipping 2 goals in the Champions League final against Real Madrid. They only just signed him. and he messed up. They get rid of him, and they went to go and get Alisson. The same
Exactly.
thing, Man City. Okay, let's say Man City, we can't compete with them when it comes to, because they got a very rich owner. We have a very rich owner as well, but the reason why we're not the same level as them because our own owner is not a footballman. He doesn't
Exactly.
want to. He doesn't care about it.
He doesn't care about the club.
So that is just my own opinion about the. So like I said, if Arsenal sign two players in this January, and I said it before on the show that they'll probably leave it till probably the end of the transfer window before they actually bring the guy. They're not going to do anything in the early window. It's just the way Arsenal. Like one. I think you're talking to one guy earlier. The Usem Owa deal. This deal, Usem Owa should have been Arsenal player now.
Exactly, man.
But they drag it, and they end up, they now end up signing. How many players the one that the main player I can say we sign in the summer would probably be Thomas Partey. Apart from that, we don't really do any deal that is going to wow me really. So, well, it's a lot of Arsenal fans just need to realize that now Arsenal is just the way they are now, and until Arsenal change the way the structure they do their business. You don't want to see Arsenal signing player on the deadline. You want to get your business done from the beginning of from the beginning of the transfer window. Get it done. Then on the deadline day, you don't want to be on the news. Get it done first week on the January transfer window, first week, second week. Get it done. Then start to
Actually, I wanted to ask you. Sead Kolasinac leaving even before 1st January. Is it an indicator that probably we are, making amends? Could we see us making transfer business, a little bit earlier than usual or than expected?
No, I would say even though if 3-4 players leave before the transfer window opens, it's Arsenal, man. Arsenal they won't do any deal that early. Well, we should know about that by now. They won't do anything early. They'll probably leave it to probably last week of the transfer window, and they'll try to rush and say, okay, we need this person now. The transfer window we only got 1 week left, so we just have to kind of get it done quicker now. Then by the time the player is going to come in, then it would take the player maybe probably a month or so before he started blending in with the other players. But I would say another thing I want to say is if Arsenal wants to sign a creative midfielder and they're not going to do it early, I would say probably they need to go and get someone that has already been playing in the Premier League or in the Championship that knows about the league already. If you leave it till the end of the window and you now want to go and get someone from Spain or from Germany, it's going to take him longer to get used to the pace of the Premier League or to get used to the way the team play than someone that is already in the Premier League. It's kind of well, I just don't know what to say when it comes to the business in the Arsenal right now. That's why I said yesterday that the person that is doing the negotiate in Arsenal is that person must be crap.
Yeah.
It's kind of trust. That person must be crap. Why does it take so long? The club has given you, okay, if you want this our player, this is how much we want. Okay, like Buendia now, they said they want how much? 45 million. It's Norwich. They're playing in the Championship. Okay, tell them this is how much you want to play. 30 million. Whether you take it or leave it. If they don't want it, forget about it. Move on to the next person on the list.
Exactly.
You understand what I mean? Then you will keep going back. Before you know, there is no time.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? That's the reason why we didn't get Osemowa last summer.
Exactly.
Because of the way they kind of negotiating, and it's not. it's not actually there, and I just don't know, man. They just need to change the way they do their business. Basically, they need to get it right. They need to get it right and fast as well.
Okay, Mose, thank you so much. Let me just get on man like Philip, just to get his reaction as well. Make no mistake, you can call in, subscribe to the channel first and foremost. Make sure you have your notification bells turned on, and also you're smashing the like button. The comments are coming in. I'm going to be reacting to your comments very soon. The phone calls are also coming in. I'm also going to be picking the phone calls as well. So make sure, make no mistake, you must be very active. So Philip, first and foremost, let's hear from you. What do you want to say?
I want to talk about Sabitzer.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's the player that can take us forward out of this relegation scrap we're in, and it can take us to the top level. I think.
Yeah.
Also, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you still Arteta out?
Yeah, I am still Arteta around. Very, very strong.
Who would you replace him with?
Yeah.
Who would you replace him with?
I mean, right now, Allegri is still available, so I still offer. I still offer my my Allegri opinion. I still think Allegri is that kind of guy. You want him to take you to the top, he's gonna do it as long as you give him the material. So I'll still go with Allegri.
I personally wouldn't go for Allegri, but he's a good manager, and I think Arsenal need that experience of a manager to take them back to the top level. Because look at Arteta, like we can barely win games against Brighton with Arteta. He's not, the job is too big for him. I'm surprised Arsenal gave Arteta such a big job when he's never had a job before. But personally, I would take Slaven Bilic at Arsenal.
Slaven Bilic? No. I wouldn't. I look, Bilic is. Yeah, I still remember. I think I loved him when he was at West Ham. Yeah, when he was at West Ham, I rated him. By the way, I rated him highly. I thought he would be a big manager. But I think he's also another Thomas Tuchel, that kind of mediocre manager. I wouldn't take him. Trust me, I wouldn't take him.
What about Eddie Howe?
No, again, Eddie Howe is another mediocre manager. I think, we can rate them highly. Yeah, you can rate them highly. But the problem is, you bring in Eddie Howe, he's going to, run out of his depth so quickly, because he's used to working with the Bournemouth that will actually work, ask him for 15th, 17th, 13th finish. But you bring him at Arsenal and you tell him, okay, you're finished 8th. Now take us to the Europa League. Yeah. Now take us, is he going to handle this pressure? Europa League, Premier League, Champions League demands. I don't think they can handle. I just don't see him as that kind of caliber. Maybe if we talk about Brendan Rodgers, I think for Brandon, I think he has the quality. Yeah. He can actually do, the multitasking, take you to Champions League, do well in the league, as long as you give him, the time, because he's not a winner like Mauricio Pochettino. I don't know whether the problem is that he's not a winner or he hasn't got a squad that can actually win. So probably we need to give him. Let's see Pochettino when he has gone to PSG. If he wins, then we can know Pochettino is a winner. If he doesn't win, then we know he's not a winner. So with Brandon, I also think he needs a serious job that is going to actually demand a title with the tools around. But no, Eddie Howe, I see him as a manager with Slaven Bilic. I see them as managers that very good, just like Nuno Espirito Santo, Wolves. Yeah. He could be a very good manager for Wolves, but you bring him at a bigger side, he's gonna run out of his depth.
Yes, a very fair point. But the only reason I said Slaven Bilic, I'm a big fan of him. I'm a big fan of his tactics and his what he does with his teams. Even though he's not on the level of Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, and that's the type of manager for a club like Arsenal. That's the type of manager you need. You need a manager at that level to take you to the top. But I'd still rate Slaven Bilic very highly, and that's a big issue. But I have a feeling that the club, the managers, even though top managers like Klopp and Pep Guardiola, I think that even though they're top managers, I think they're only good managers if they're backed by the board.
Exactly. And we actually, that's a very great point. When you look at all those managers that have won things, they have the backing. Mourinho, we're talking about Jose Mourinho as a winning manager, but wherever he has been, he has had the quality. At Madrid, he had the quality. He comes at Chelsea, gets the quality. Even at Spurs right now, when he wins anything, he has the quality. Pep Guardiola, he's been at Bayern, he has been at Manchester City. The backing has been there. Sir Alexander Chapman Ferguson, the backing has been there. Hansi Flick at Bayern, the backing is there. Any manager you're going to talk about as a winner, you must back them up. And I think that's the only thing I would listen. If anyone told me, look, let's give Mikel Arteta the kind of players he wants and see how he's going to do. Yeah, because he hasn't had that kind of full backing. We would say, but trust me, if you do not back the manager, don't expect any better results.
Do you know the manager Seamus Thornton?
Seamus Thornton?
Yeah.
Did you say Seamus what?
Seamus Thornton.
Where is he?
He used to manage a Premier League club. I forgot what club it was, but it was like a relegation battling team, and he took them like sort of in the middle. Seamus Thornton. And
I don't think I really recall.
Oh, it's all right. But what signings? Like, would you rather Arsenal sign Buendia or Sabitzer?
Look, I'm not a big fan of Buendia, really.
Same.
I have my own questions about him, about his ability to play in a big team, to adapt in a big team, his ability to play on Europe, to adapt to playing on Europe and all those things. Whereas for Sabitzer, he has actually proven me, because I think it's not a point of disrespect, but Leipzig and Arsenal right now, if you want to weigh us, we are almost on the same, in the same weight, are we?
Yeah. But the thing about Sabitzer, he's like proven, like Champions League, he plays good against the big teams.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Buendia, he's a good player, but what excites me about him is that the way that he plays really good with like players with the players around him at Norwich, because he hasn't got quality players around him at Norwich, and he still can provide like good assists and stuff like that, which is a very impressive thing to do. So I think at Arsenal, with players like Aubameyang and stuff, he'll fit in better, but it's a big risk because you don't know if it'll work. And 45 million for a player in the Championship right now, I don't think that's worth it. And especially when you can get someone like Sabitzer who's cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Sabitzer's contract, on the fact that his contract is running down, you're gonna negotiate 30 million and you're gonna get him. And I think it's worth a risk. If 30 million for Sabitzer, nobody's gonna say that was an awful transfer window. Transfer decision. Nobody's gonna say that. It's a good transfer, and either it works. Either way, if it works, he stays at the club. If it doesn't work, I think you can sell him off for 25 million or even 30 million, to another club.
Yeah, but I remember Seamus Thornton when he was managing. I know you don't know him, but when he was the manager of a club in Premier League, he wanted to sign Sabitzer when he was like a youngster, and his assistant manager was called Naomi, and his assistant manager said that he's not good enough right now, and he doesn't think he can be at the top level. So it just, and stuff like the board backing the manager, like you can see Jurgen Klopp here, the board, like even though his decisions could be a bit dodgy, the board trusted him, because who would have thought that 75 million for a player in Southampton would be a good price? And the board trusted Klopp, and it's paid off. Now Van Dijk, to buy him, will be 150, will be double the price tag. And that's why I think Arsenal are lacking right now. They haven't got any backings of the board, and I think that's costing us massively, because no manager, like every manager that's come to Arsenal hasn't been backed. Even Emery hasn't been backed.
I think you have a very great point, because Arsene Wenger leaves this club in the hands of Unai Emery. You thought Emery was a little bit proven than Mikel Arteta, not a little bit, more, very clearly. Very clear with Mikel Arteta when it comes to management and how proven he is. He had a couple of titles with Sevilla. in the Europa League. So you think he was the perfect man for the job after managing PSG. I think he was only sacked because he couldn't get them any far in the Champions League, which I don't think Arsenal is a matter of a matter that can get an Arsenal manager sacked because you don't have Champions League ambitions, because the club has never had them anyway. But we bring him in and we give him Matteo Guendouzi, we bring him David Louis, after losing Koscielny, and then we sack him because of poor defense. It really, I think it really doesn't make sense right now. It really doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
When you look at the defenders that were playing under Unai Emery, Socrates, Luiz, Kolasinac, I think it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that we sacked him. Probably we should have backed him because the problems were visible, quite very visible.
Yeah. That's a very good point. And right now, like Unai Emery, he started off very well at Arsenal as well. Like when he first came at the club, I was so shocked because he instantly gelled with the players. We went on, remember, we went on like some next 22 or something like that unbeaten streak, which is very surprising. And right now, I just checked the La Liga table, and Villarreal, he's managing Villarreal right now, and they're fifth in the league. So it kind of shows if you give him the right resources, he'll be a good manager.
Excellent. And actually, they're fifth in the league, but 1 or 2 weeks ago they were title contenders. They've been on top of that La Liga, that La Liga table for some time now.
Yeah, they're only 3 points off
Exactly.
Real Sociedad, who are third, and they're only 7 points off first.
Yeah, I think the point of backing a manager really needs, we need to make it a point. We need to, if Arsenal really think we are going to do with we are going to compete, then we need to back these managers. Sacking them and bringing another might not be the solution. I mean, I don't mean Mikel Arteta is this kind of magician that I believe in all of a sudden. No, I don't. But sacking him without backing him also doesn't make sense. Yeah, it really doesn't make sense, because Everton bring in Ancelotti last year, and look where they are. They backed him. They give him almost 4 interesting players. Amazing.
Rodriguez, Alan, Decore, Godfrey.
Exactly. And they are doing great. I should say they are doing great because, even if they are not title challengers, but they're better than us so far. And, if it were not for injuries, they had found the momentum. And, these players had, settled in. And I think, you really have a great point. If Arsenal can't back the managers, then we'd rather stick with one manager than wasting time, bringing in, one at a time and sacking them.
Yeah, but also one thing I like to say is that I think the signings that Everton made have really brought the best out of Calvert-Lewin. Because Calvert-Lewin, when he had no midfield, he had Sigurdsson behind him and Andre Gomez. They're not really the attacking creative players. As soon as he brought in James Rodriguez and Decore and Allen, he's been starting to be he's one of the best strikers now in the Premier League, and that's what I think. That's why I think the same situation is with Aubameyang. I think you bring in Sabitzer or someone like that, he'll do well. And there's also reports, the Julian Brandt is spicing up, it's getting more advanced into the deal. So I would
actually,
take.
Actually, the Julian Brandt story is, reports in Germany say Arsenal had agreed a deal in principle, a price in principle with Dortmund, but the problem is,
what's the price tag?
It was between 20 to 30 million. That we were supposed to pay between 20 and 30 million for for him. But Dortmund are still thinking whether to let him go in winter. So that is still their problem. They would not want to let him go in winter. But if they can let him go this January transfer window, then probably he would be one of those players that could actually sign fast.
What? So Arsenal had a verbal agreement with Dortmund to sign.
Yeah, exactly.
But now they're turning back on it.
Yeah, and Dortmund, that's how they were with Jadon Sancho and Manchester United, wasting their time all over. I wouldn't want to deal with Dortmund. They're as hard as Lyon. You can't get close to a deal. You think it's gonna get done, and then all of the sudden, boom, they change their mind. So I don't want really deal with Dortmund at such a time when we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, and especially when we tried to sign Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, it took so long. The saga, the rumors were going around for so many weeks, and we just about got him on deadline day.
Yeah, exactly. So
because Dortmund, they try getting as much money as possible from the transfer door. They will keep waiting, and keep making you go higher and higher. Then eventually they'll probably accept it. But with Sancho, they have no rush because they have him on a contract, and they know they can easily get the 120 million euros they're asking for. So Dortmund, they're tough negotiators. It's going to be hard to get Julian Brand.
It would be a nice deal. I should say it would be a very, very nice deal for us to get in, Julian Brand, Julian Brandit. But dealing with Dortmund in January and Lyon is, they're just going to mess up your window. They're just going to mess up your window. I think we should go for deals that can be done. That's what I think.
Yeah, I was when we shocked that we when we signed Aubameyang in January, I was so shocked that we managed to pick him up. But they did take a high transfer fee offer, 60 million or something like that. It was a very expensive transfer fee, but but we just need to improve.
Exactly.
Hopefully, because right now we're not getting Arteta's not getting the backing, because there's loads of reliable people like Fabrizio Romano saying that the board love Arteta and they want to back him and stuff like that. So if they really want to back him, then they should show us it by signing the players he wants.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Let me see. Let me see if they back him. Let's just wait and see if they back him. Big up. Thank you so much, Philip, for coming on. We have another person here, ABC. How are you doing? Are you there? Well, I think they are not there yet. Joe, how are you doing?
Oh, hello, mate. Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing? So, what are your thoughts on this whole situation about Mikel Arteta?
My thoughts on Mikel Arteta. First and foremost, my point is as always it has been, Mikel Arteta out. I don't think he's that kind of manager that will take us up front. I know he can turn things around. I've always told this squad could turn things around. Probably finish 9th or 8th or 6th or even 5th. But I don't see that manager as that manager that's going to make us compete. I don't think he's that kind of manager that's taking us to the level of Bayern, the level of Manchester United, the level of Liverpool or Chelsea. I don't see him as that. But again, I've been talking with Philip, and I hope you've been listening, that I don't think we need to sack managers before we try to give them a chance and back them. Yeah, I understand. Arteta is average. That was our mistake to bring him in. In the first place, he shouldn't be here. In the first place, we shouldn't have signed him. But bad news, he is here. Do we need to sack him? We need to sack him. There's no question. But we need to back him. So probably, if you back Mikel Arteta in January and sack him in the summer, the new manager coming on is going to find Thomas Partey, is going to find Bukayo Saka, is going to find Aubameyang, is going to find probably 2 other signings that Mikel Arteta did in the January transfer window. So he's not going to find the team as crap as Unai Emery found it, taking over from Arsene Wenger. So I still believe he can turn things around. But if Arsenal is serious, we need to sack him again to bring in a more serious manager that can give us, that feeling that we're winners, that we can win again.
Yeah, so I think if as you said earlier with Philip, I think if you can get if the board can back Mikel Arteta, I think the team could improve a lot, because they can make so many signings, and it'll be very good for Mikel Arteta, and it'll boost his confidence as well, because he'll feel like he's getting backed by the board, and he has his own decisions. He can make his own decisions, and after that, if there's still no results, they have the right to then take action into their own hands and sack him.
Yeah, exactly. So I completely do agree with you. The backing of the managers, and I do not disagree with anyone who says Mikel Arteta needs to be backed, probably. But if he gets backed and results do not change, sack him then. But if if next year, if this season we finish 8th and next year we don't qualify for Champions League, sack him. But the problem with us, they are never going to sack a manager who is, who finishes 5th or 4th. But I think the ambitions of this football club should be the manager right now must be looking at taking us back to Champions League and building a sustainable squad. Exactly.
Yeah, but like right now, there's a lot of contenders for Champions League, so it'll take a lot for Mikel Arteta, and it wouldn't just take like one season. It'll take a lot of work, especially for Arsenal at this point right now. They need a lot of work to reach that level. Of course, right now they're at the level to play Europa League football, and but Champions League, it's a big step, and it does require a lot of work. And I think to reach that step is just with a lot of work and a lot of signings to be made. So of course the team need to be there together, and they need to change their kind of way of approaching games, and they have to be consistent. But at the moment, I don't think, maybe not Champions League, but not just yet to get the Champions League. It will take some time.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Yes, please. What are your thoughts on Seamus Thornton? He's a great manager.
I mean, look, I can't really say much about him because I really don't have much knowledge about him. Probably I should note it down. Do I have a pen nearby? I should note it down.
And he does have a player. He has a son whose name is Shea. Fun fact.
Shea.
And he played for Aston Villa, former goalkeeper.
Okay. I'm gonna look him up.
I think he should be a second choice. Instead of Leno.
I'm gonna look him up. Thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you, mate.
All right. I mean, the fun session. That is the fun session. You want to call in? It's as easy as following the link in my comment section. But let me just take a look at the comments here. He can take us to any level we want. Simple backing him is what we need. Look, Kelly. Yeah, I understand. Any manager needs backing, but not any manager can take you to heights and levels. That's the difference. You can't have a manager and their tactics and their ways of doing things are not to win. They're not winners. So you need a manager who is a winner. We need a manager who is a winner. We should never forget that. But thank you for the comment. Yeah, the Arsenal job too big for Mikel Arteta. We should recruit a more experienced manager. This is Dima from Kenya. Big up high courses. Where is Dries Nelson? Mikel Arteta said he was injured, so probably by saying that he was injured, now he means that he's fit. So I think we're about to see more of him. In the coming days, probably. Is Saliba deal moving on loan? If yes, confirm his next destination. This is Dima. I think a couple of clubs needed, but he wants to stay in the Premier League. He wants to play in the Premier League. Crystal Palace is one of those clubs that are interested, as well as PSV, Eindhoven. And a couple of clubs from France. I can't confirm because there are no negotiations right now between any club for William Saliba. At least there are no explicit negotiations. So I cannot really confirm that man like Saliba is going to be leaving very soon. Because Arsenal need to buy quality players so that the team can perform well. Please help me beg my fellow fans to stop crucifying the manager. This is Kelly. Big up, Kelly. Bro, hi Arsenal. Miss Ozil. I'm Ronaldo from Rwanda. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Ronaldo from Rwanda, and Happy New Year for all people following this channel. Ozil, everybody misses him, but it's time up for Mr. Ozil. Truly, it's time up. All I can say about Kolasinac is thanks for the terrible, members. But what a tough guy he is, though. I mean, when he came in, we thought we had signed a crack of a left back, but we were mistaken. The best thing to do is to get rid of fringe players, trim the squad, then sign a playmaker like Jack Grealish. Best number 10, but Julian Brandt is the next realistic option. I appreciate the love from South Africa, my man, Movren. Football fan says, "Hey Kosi, how are you doing, my man? How are you doing? Us need to get Sabitzer. This is Beza AFC." Dima says, "Isco is how far is the Isco deal? We opened up talks. We're in negotiations for a 6 loan deal. Let us see how Real Madrid are going to react to that as well. If Arsenal should go for a defender, I'm thinking of Diego Carlos. He would be very expensive. I hope you guys, I hope you know that as you said. The midfield trio would be Isco, Ricky Pig, and Thomas Partey. Much love from South Africa. That is Koveshen. Yes, we got a lot of Deadwood players that need to go. I do understand, by the way. The front three is, I like to see our Arsenal is Vinicius Jr. on the right, Martinelli on the left wing, and our captain as a striker. Are you dropping out Bukayo Saka? I'm not really sure about that. Apparently, Kroenke said we have to sell to buy this January transfer window. Yes, we did. We did talk about that. GK selling Martinez was a mistake. Please not again. Please not back again. Please not again. We need a backup goalkeeper. Runason is terrible. Send him on loan. I mean, I don't know where we were signing Runason. I don't know. But anyway, guys, I really appreciate the love. I really appreciate the love. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, let us take some minutes. Let us take some minutes off to subscribe. Yeah, subscribe. The subscribe button is on the channel name. Below the video is that like button you see in blue. Make sure your like button is either blue or black. This one, that like button, please make sure it is clicked on. Make sure you've clicked on the like button. Thank you so much, so very much. I love you guys, and I hope you guys have had an enjoyable show where we have been discussing almost everything, almost everything. Who do you want to sign this transfer window? An attacking player, an attacking midfielder. I don't care who it is, whether it's Sabitzer or it's Buendia, because I know Arsenal. Even if you say you want this one and the Arsenal won't go for him, you're wasting time. So as long as we can maintain the vision of getting an attacking midfielder, it will do very well. And the last person I'll be talking to is Biza, who says Leno got back to his level now, in my opinion. So thanks, everybody, guys. Please, humbly, I request, smash the like button. Let us get them to 100 likes, at least 100 likes. Please do smash the like button. Get your comments coming in. It's very, 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 very important. Even after here, I'm going to continue the discussion in the comments. So please join me in the comments. We talk about these things deeply and intimately. That is the transfer. Those are the transfers around today. Let's wait to see what will come on tomorrow, because tomorrow will be apparently fast. Transfers are open. Transfers are opening officially on the 1st. Today is 31st. Tomorrow will be fast. So probably, and tomorrow I'm going to be dropping a video of the free agents Arsenal can sign in the summer. Yeah, free agents we can sign, and then those transfer targets that Arsenal will be moving along with the whole summer. How probably I'll be dropping one video about how we can line up in after our transfers, another video. So make no mistake, I'm at your service. Always have a blessed evening. Please do not forget to subscribe.